Well, that was rather refreshing. I was expecting a really flat pitch and a pretty turgid day's play. In fact, I was not expecting much in terms of entertainment value from this entire Test series. That was a cracking first day of Test cricket. Congratulations to the ground staff at Kensington Oval in Bridgetown, Barbados. Right from the first ball, the pitch had a bit of life. It had some carry, had some movement, and it made for a very entertaining day's play. Well, Australia won the toss and batted. And Sam Konstas, very much not the Sam Konstas that we saw on Boxing Day, ramping and playing all sorts of shots. Today, he was very orthodox, but only lasted 14 balls. Shamar Joseph, the man who destroyed Australia at the Gabba, and it transpires that he has now had 11 catches dropped off his bowling since the start of 2024. 3 of them today. We'll get to that. But what I'm coming towards is he'd kind of gone a little bit quiet as far as there was such a big buzz around him after that Test match in the Gabba, had a spell in the IPL, has been reasonably underwhelming. Well, it was as though he'd never left the Gabba. He was sensational today. And he struck Konstas in front, given not out, but on review was hitting the top of the middle and leg stumps. So Sammy Konstas out for just 3. And Green, second ball dropped by the debutant Brandon King in the gully. Shamar Joseph, the unlucky bowler, that was the 9th of those 11 catches that I'm talking about to be dropped. An absolute sitter. King on debut somehow sank to his knees to a ball that would have been very easily catchable at waist height with fingers pointing down. Sank to his knees, fingers pointing up, and dropped an absolute sitter. Then Khawaja got dropped off Joseph. Another easy catch, this time by Roston Chase in his first game back in the West Indies side and back as captain. And it was like, you just can't do that, guys. You know, it must be painful being a fan of the West Indies. Australia very, very defensive early on, barely looking to score. Then Green finally out, caught by Greaves, bowled Shamar Joseph, flashing at one that he was caught in the gully. Actually, I'm going to check that was the gully because, as you might appreciate, my memory is a little bit skewed, having this game all not the greatest time of day for Australians, starting at midnight. Let's have a look. Second slip. That was the catch taken by Greaves. So, yeah, my memory a bit skewed. Anyway, Inglis out very quickly. Went to try to pull one. Just basically at a top edge, ballooned up, and Shy Hope, the keeper, ran across and caught it. He was out for 5. So Australia in a lot of trouble. Off the final ball of the 16th over, Travis Head covered over 4. It was the first boundary of the innings. That is how much on top the West Indies were. Then there was a period that Australia went on top, and I think that the West Indian bowling lost a little bit of its accuracy. Khawaja hooked a short one for 6. There was a disappointing moment in the outfield. Warrican, who's vice captain, I don't know that he's had an injury, but he could have dived to save one, didn't dive, and it looked like something out of the sort of the 1930s where he just let it go through for 4. And you sort of noticed the difference in the fielding standards there between the West Indies and what I was expecting Australia would produce. And it looked as though Australia was going to be well on top. The 3 for 106, and Khawaja then gets drops. He glides one to the aforementioned Brandon King on debut, dives off the bowling of Seals, this was. And this was actually a difficult one, but probably still one that could have been caught. Another dropped catch. And then finally, Khawaja out. Caught Hope, bowled Shamar Joseph for 47. He took 128 balls, the sort of innings that really, I think, exemplifies where Usman Khawaja is at the moment, that he fought hard. He undoubtedly, he got 47 on a day when no one was really scoring many runs except for him and Travis Head. But he did look all at sea against the fast bowling. The one that he actually got out on, he tried to pull, kept a little bit low, got a bottom edge, and he was out, caught behind. So that brought to the crease Bo Webster, and he actually, interestingly, one of his first balls, edge one, just short of second slip. Greg Blewett, former fielding coach, knows what he's talking about. In commentary, made the point that second slip was actually standing behind the line of the wicketkeeper, whereas normally second slip is pretty much at the line of the keeper. And he made the point that he reckoned that probably would have been caught if second slip had been standing where he should have been. Guess who was the bowler? Of course, it was Shamar Joseph. Then he bowls an unplayable one to knock Webster over. Straightened, was sort of angling towards leg stump, straightened, hit the top of off stump, unplayable, and wow, he's just an absolute star, Shamar Joseph. A controversial moment then followed. Head under edge one that, to me, live, just looked like it bounced just short of the keeper. There's a sort of a half appeal and an inquiry. The umpires correctly referred it to the third umpire, and then to my surprise, it was out. Well, it should have been, in my opinion. I think that it was quite clear that it went into the keeper's gloves cleanly. Adrian Holdstock, the third umpire, said that there was not conclusive evidence that that was the case. Look, if you pause it at one particular frame and you want to say that, yes, that possibly could have been touching the ground at that point, I understand that. But I think if you watch it frame by frame and don't sort of do it that way, you had to come to the conclusion that actually that did carry and that there wasn't sufficient doubt to give it not out. So anyway, Head was reprieved. He was on 53 at that point. Alex Carey comes in and caught at first slip by Roston Chase off the bowling of Jaden Seals, slashing at one. And so he was out for just 8. That was the tea break. Graves came on after tea, not Shamar Joseph, and everyone's saying, why is that the case? Well, second ball, Travis Head tries to force one, caught behind for 59 from just 78 balls. So of all the players throughout the day, Travis Head clearly looked the best, and that was it's the sort of innings that maybe you'd say might be sort of worth 100, only 59, but really fine innings from Travis Head. Starc didn't last long. Seals got him caught at second slip. Cummins played a nice little innings, really going for it, slapping it round, riding his luck, playing some great shots as well. Eventually out for 28 from just 18 balls. Valuable little contribution. Then Lyon edges one into the gully. Pretty easy catch, and Brandon King on debut drops his third catch of the day. And of course, the bowler was Shamar Joseph. But Seals finishes off the innings. Nasty one into Hazlewood. Balloons up. Hazlewood basically walks because he realises, well, even if that's given not out, he clearly knew he got some glove on it, I think. So he was out for 4. And so Australia stunningly shot out for 180. Khawaja 47, Head 59. Third top score was Cummins on 28. I didn't mention everyone's score, but suffice it to say there was nothing impressive beyond those. All out for 180. Jaden Seals ended up with the best figures, 5 for 60, and Shamar Joseph, 4 for 46. Could have been 8 for 46, really. That's how well he bowled. And Graves with the very vital wicket of Head, 1 for 26. All out for 180, and you were thinking, gosh, the West Indies are going to struggle on this because there's clearly something in this surface, and so it proved. Pretty quickly, Mitchell Starc, excellent ball, good length, moved across Brathwaite, edges it, and here's the difference. Low, excellent catch from Webster at second slip. Now, one or two of the catches the West Indians took were actually really good, so they weren't all terrible, but it's the sort of one that Webster took that I could imagine that either the West Indies wouldn't have taken it, would have dropped it, or it would have bounced short of them. Starc continues to bowl really well. Campbell nicks one off him, swung just enough, went through to Carey. Then there's a little bit of a partnership between King and Casey Carty, but just as it was looking as though they might be getting away, Cummins comes on, gets a bit of extra bounce. Carty probably could have let it go, but it was one of these ones that your bat's sort of drawn to it like a magnet. He was out for 20. They sent in the night watchman, Warrican. I thought, not sure that this is going to end well, and it didn't. Hazlewood, absolute perler, top of off stump, came back, knocked him over. The classic one where you say, that was wasted on a lower order batter. So the end of a very pulsating day. West Indies 4 for 57, so trailing Australia's 180 by 123 runs. 2 wickets to Starc, 1 each to Hazlewood and Cummins. And early on when I was looking at the crowd and lots of Aussies there, not an enormous number, but a healthy number, and they seem to outnumber the local fans quite considerably. I was thinking, yeah, I mean, it's a great place to be, but without the locals giving it a bit of atmosphere, maybe it's, and as I was expecting it to be a flat pitch, maybe it's not the greatest place. But by the end of the day, I was envious of them. It looked fantastic. The crowd had built a little bit, and there were echoes of what it felt like as a youngster in the 1980s and the 1990s when West Indies were dominant and that real sort of the swagger with which they played. Obviously, Australia hitting back at the end have finished the day on top. Really interesting day of Test cricket, the first day of the Frank Worrell Trophy.